Yo, what's up guys, John Boogle here, and we're gonna go through Battle Cats using my own guides. Now of course the guide I'm gonna be using here is the progression guide, the smooth progression guide for beginners. So in this guide, it continues of course right after the tutorial, which is Empire of Cats 3, and in the guide it explains to go to SOL if you don't have the good anti-alien units to take on into the future 1. So in the background is of course some gameplay of me progressing on my account. Of course this is pre-recorded, so I'm just doing a voiceover. So what I've been doing since I've restarted is I've gone through the same route basically, but just a few changes here and there. Things like getting the cyclones a bit early, the cyclone reward drops, of course. Those rare cat drops that of course are anti-metals, which will come in handy for a bit I'll explain later in the video. So after that, of course, I just focused on clearing the first couple levels of SOL and getting those cat foods and all those XPs and stuff like that. You know, the basic beginner stuff, just saving cat food for Uber guaranteed rolls, saving for discounts or Uberfest, whatever the hell, to spend my rare tickets, even though we have a very small amount of rare tickets. Of course, I'm gonna go through the game the same way without using Ubers really to progress, but more to grind. So if I don't find a useful Uber in my rolls, there is gonna be a situation where I do sell it for XP, because that of course will be more beneficial for me. But if you're starting, of course, it is a crucial thing to always use new units. Keep in mind, this is like my 6th or 7th time restarting Battle Cats from the beginning, so I really don't have to rely on Ubers at all to progress. I use Ubers more to grind XP, cat fruits, and stuff like that, not to progress. So yeah, always use your new units. Do not sell them for XP. I'm only doing it because I have everything planned out ahead of time. Of course, I've gone through the game so many damn times, it is obvious what I need to do, what I actually have to get, and what I don't need to do, and what I don't need to get. So after that, of course, I've been slowly grinding my way, getting a whole bunch of cat fruits, just grinding the hard stages for, of course, all of the growing green stages, red, blue, all of the cat fruits, just doing the hard stage repeatedly, getting up a huge stack of cat fruits, getting ready to true form units. But of course, I can't true form them yet because I still have some guides to do, so I'm not going to over level myself yet. We're staying at level 25 cats for now. Now with all that in mind, of course, in my early draws in the game, I got pretty lucky getting some nice anti-floating units like, of course, Necro. No Sanzo, unfortunately, but we did get, of course, Octo. So yeah, pretty good anti-floating unit for early game. Pretty good unit for early game in general. And of course, we got lucky. Our first gacha unit ever on this account was Paris. Again, yes, on my previous account, it was Paris as well. And on this one, it was Paris again as the first ever gacha unit on the account. And of course, yeah, we got lucky with the Ramen Swimmer, with our main rusher really, because yeah, we don't really have much to rush with. So Fishman or Swimmer here is our main rusher for now. And we got the good old Cube Cat, of course. Now with those early anti-floating units I got, of course, my goal was to beat the Cyclones, and that's what I did first. I got the Cyclone Drop Cats, and the reason I went for these Cyclone Drop Cats, of course, you don't really need much. All you need is level 20 units, and your anti-floating units can stay level 1. Of course, the proc units. Stuff like Oxo, you want to get that to level 20 at least, and you're set. Even though Sadako doesn't really do too well against Cyclones anyways, but it is nice to have there just in case. So of course, we went in with level 20 cats, Bahamut, Paris, and Necro at level 1, and Swimmer, of course, was level 20, so that was a big help as well. But then, of course, we got our Cyclone Drop Cats. Now, you must be wondering, Boogle, why the hell do you need the Cyclone Drop Cats? Well, there is this very smooth part to this progression route that involves you getting crazed fish early, because it is very possible to do crazed fish very early, as you can see. And all it requires is at least level 20 to 25 cats, and of course, one crit hitter. And of course, our special crit hitter we're going to be using for crazed fish was, of course, Space Cat. And of course, Space Cat is a drop reward on the red cyclone stage, so that is where we got Space Cat. And Space Cat is pretty much the ideal critter for crazed fish in the early game, because not only is it a nice critter to have in the early game against the crazed fish stage, being no gacha, and it is also stackable in that stage. So even though it does have a pretty low crit chance, the thing here is you can stack Space Cat on crazed fish, which makes it very easy to just wipe out the Super Metal Hippo in crazed fish. And of course, we had level 20 Bahamut to deal with the actual crazed fish, and level 25 Paris Cat to just handle the rest. And boom, just like that, super easily, we got the cheat code for early game, and that is Crazed Fish, aka Crazed Whale. Crazed Whale is a very powerful unit to have in the early game, and the reason I mentioned it so early in the progression guide for the beginners is because it is so easy to get, but the amount Crazed Whale can do and carry you is definitely worth focusing on. Now, I know I can't beat any of the other crazed cats because I'm way too underleveled. Maybe I can slide by beating crazed cat with stacking Bahamut, but at level 20, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. So following the progression guide that I made, of course, the next step was going to Into the Future Chapter 1, because now that we have Crazed Whale, a very powerful unit for the early game, a cool fact is Crazed Whale can actually solo all of Into the Future Chapter 1 with the treasures, so yeah, cool little fact right there. And that is why I urge people in the early game to go for Crazed Fish, because of course it requires minimal investment and the output reward is grand, of course. But of course, every account is different, and if you follow a guide to a T, you are gonna have some issues if you aren't exactly in the same spot. Because what I've noticed over the years making guides on Battle Cats is people tend to not know what guides really are supposed to be used for. They instead watch a guide, copy the lineup, and just hop in the stage. Then they come back saying, "Oh my god, this didn't work. Why didn't it work?" You have to remember, a guide is just a guide. It's just supposed to put you in a better direction to where you were before. A guide is not meant to be followed pixel by pixel because everyone's account is different. You need to adapt to the guide and use the guide's information to your own benefit. So of course, applying this to my own guide in the progression guide, I of course still had to take on Into the Future Chapter 1. But I said, wait, I do have one anti-alien unit here, which is Rover. And if I get Rover true formed, I can ease by Into the Future 1 very fast. So of course, what I decided to do is not do Into the Future 1 yet, progress a little bit more through SOL, get some more XP, get some more cat fruits, and then of course, eventually true form Rover Cat. Because even if Crazed Whale can solo Into the Future 1, Rover Cat can probably make that process a lot faster, so getting that was a big crucial part for me. And that pretty much fast forwards us all the way up to right now as I'm doing this voiceover. Of course, we are in Into the Future 1, getting all of the treasures, smoothly, very smoothly progressing through the game without an issue in the world, without any Ubers needed. We're just going through it normal and quickly as well. But yeah, as we go on in this new account, of course, maybe I will make updates on my progression, and hey, maybe I'll use more of my own guides to progress through Battle Cats and see how it goes. But yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, of course, subscribe if you're new, join the hashtag Boogle gang, And in this level here, before we close out, of course, I was gonna cheese this level with a little wall. Then I realized I don't have a little wall, so of course, we just had to Paris and dragon stack our way through it. Closing words, I guess I can say, remember, a guide is a guideline to what you should do, not what you should strictly follow, if that makes sense. Cyclone guides are coming soon, and maybe some Redux guides for the early portions of the game, since those guides are pretty outdated now. I mean, they still work, but they're pretty old, so of course there has been better ways to go through the game. But yeah, it's been John Boogle, and see ya.